Okay.
Hey YouTube! So this is our part 2. These will be 6 through 10 of the top 10 weirdest things that people have said about a disability. As I said in the previous video, I'm visually impaired, and then Kay is visually impaired because of her albinism. So she has commentary or things that people have said about both her vision and her albinism. Let's see what else. And yeah, I feel like the previous video was slightly more lighthearted because this one crescendos and gets kind of intense at the end. Intense? Explicit? Alright, well, yeah.
Disclaimers.
Yeah. So you're saying your first two. Or your 5 and 6.
Okay.
I think she briefly touched on consent in the previous video, but...
Right.
That's what your 5 is.
Shebang, yeah. For 5 is more so based on a story than a bunch of people. Somebody had once asked me, hey, so you can't really see good, right? And you've had, sex, right? So I answered yes, humoring people and wondering where they were going with this.
I'm wondering why they're asking me this.
So, as a response, they looked at me and went, can you really give somebody consent? If you can't see them, how do you know who you're having sex with? And then isn't that not allowed anymore? Aren't you a kid in that way? Even if you claimed you wanted to have sex with them, you can't see them. You don't know who you're having sex with, so you can't consent to anybody, so it's illegal. You've been raped.
I hope this was only once, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
This isn't a common opinion amongst the masses.
Okay, alright. But I mean, it's on the list of the weirdest things. It's pretty strange. Alright, you're 6?
Alright, 6 is... For some reason I cannot find it. Aha!
Oh, wait.
What?
No, okay, I'm gonna do my 6. Sorry, because then you do your 6. Okay. So, my 6 is I get, and this is what Molly Burke said in her video, the one that this is, I guess, a response to, or, well, yeah, okay, is you're so pretty for a blind girl. And as she said, so am I pretty, are other blind people ugly, or are all other blind people ugly? Or by, the standard of sighted people or non-disabled people, am I not pretty? Am I no longer pretty? Or, what? What does that mean that I'm pretty for a blind girl? And I've said this in previous videos, I've walked by people and they've oh, her skin looks so soft, or she has such long lashes, it's a shame that she can't see. Why is that a shame? What does the length of my lashes have to then do, how does that correlate to my, my vision? Well, actually, I've been told someone tried to console themselves by saying that the drops that you get for glaucoma makes your eyelashes longer. But other than that, why is it in spite? Right? Okay, go ahead. You're 6?
My 6 is... It took me a while because it's actually labeled in my phone really weird. You guys abbreviate shit to stand for different things. Anyway. So... people have stopped in the street, and I feel like I've had something in the prior video where, again, it was mainly men, and I wanted to state that I don't have a specific problem with men.
Though she is a lesbian.
It's just... Just because of bisexual preferences does not mean I have a problem with men.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I hate my laugh. I laugh like Elmo.
I hate you. You annoy me.
I love you too. You're the best, honey.
Go away. Aren't you not supposed to like me? You're straight, right? So, aren't you supposed to hate women? Oh.
Alright, go ahead.
Yes. Anyways, I have no problems with men. It is just typically, you're part of the species that does this. I'll walk down the street, or I'll even talk to somebody for a brief amount of time, and there's always that moment where they'll look at me and say, I'm really glad I have you around. And then this is great because I think I'm about to get some compliment for my personality. I'm a shit person. So I get really gassed when people tell me like I'm a good person. But then of course it's nothing like that. It's something along the lines of, you know, in the streets, it's like you're a white woman. You know, the way you look and everything about you. You could be my sophisticated white girl. But then when we're at home, I have a black girl. I don't have to tell my family I'm a fucking white girl. I have both. And I'm just so happy about that. And I have nothing...
I didn't realize you were two separate people.
Yeah.
I thought it all was just like rolled into one.
I'm not two separate people. I'm in no way mixed, which, I mean, nothing is wrong with mixed people. Everybody is perfect. But I'm in no way mixed.
She's only pale because she's albino.
It's all a pigmentation thing. Just because of the white skin doesn't make me any less black. And it's annoying to think that somebody favors stuff like that. That somebody is ashamed to have a black woman in the streets. But it's perfectly fine with you being black in their home. Or when nobody's around, or when their friends aren't there.
It's a bit the same, yes. So 7, people who are like super proud that I'm in school for a blind girl. Like I'm doing so well for a blind girl. And I'm just like, why does that matter? There's an entrance to my school directly from the train station. And so I was exiting the train station and I was walking past the main exit and this woman, she asks me if, you know, if I realize that I like passed the stairs, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm not heading to the exit, I'm going to the school. She's like, oh, you're in school? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, oh, is this a college? Yes. It says Hunter College, but okay.
Well, just for y'all who don't know, it says Hunter College on the stop. It's not even like there's
a sign
that
says 68th Street, Hunter College.
Yeah.
And its full name is the City University of New York. So we have university, we have college. What more do you want, ma'am?
I don't think anybody was playing a practical joke, and this is really grade school.
But so she's like, oh, you know, you go to the college, oh, that's so good, you know, for someone like you. What does that mean? Why is that someone like me? Because I'm blind? Mm-hmm. And I've gotten a lot of things, like, for someone like me, or people are proud for me doing things that I feel like you should be doing. This isn't to say I have an issue with anyone who's not in school right now. Like, if you're doing something with your life, like if you're working, and you're not being a bum, then, you know, you're in good shape. But, you know, why when a disabled person is doing something, again, that they should do, I'm a 19-year-old girl, I'm in college, why is that, you know, for your disability? That's so good. So I'm going to take a very quick personal turn. But the first time I went to the gynecologist, the nurse, stop laughing. The nurse, she, you know, when I was, so you have to undress from the waist down. And I was taking off my clothes or whatever, and she's like, oh, you know, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 19. And she's like, oh, you know, this is so good, you know, that you're coming here. I know most women are scared, and for someone like you, what does that mean for someone like me? Same words, guys. You're 7?
Back to school arenas, or I guess more public place arenas. My 7 is the wonderful question, do you need help inside the bathroom? Now, just because, you know, words can be interpreted differently, I'm gonna let you guys know, not inside the bathroom, like, do you need help finding the actual bathroom?
In the stall. Do you need help in the stall?
You know, I was gonna say that. Thanks, kid.
Yeah, of course!
So, I'm just a merry old person minding my business. And whether it be a friend or a complete stranger, there's usually that one moment where they scooch on over and, hey, I'm a good person, so I'm gonna let you know this and we don't have to tell anyone
For the record,
else.
she's like rubbing my back, guys.
I can come in there with you. If you need some help, I know it'll be hard to find something. Find what? I have hands and like other parts of my body. And what people are forgetting is some vision. I can walk in there and find a toilet and then piss.
And then if she were fully blind, like she'll just walk into the toilet. And stalls are in the same setup, so the toilet is the main part of the stall, and then the toilet paper is going to be either on the right or left. Like you can't.
It's not like there's some weird. You're going to have to go to your far left to find the toilet.
Around a couple of corners,
about 3 feet down. Then reach up and over, and maybe even involve your leg in getting the toilet paper, which is all the way on the west end. Then, once you've got that, there's a button to flush. But that's somewhere on the east side. There's nothing like that.
And then that goes into, like, people, this isn't my eighth, but just reminds me of, and Yesterday's Wishes, the other person who's in the series who's collaborating with Molly Burke, she mentioned how people ask, like, how do you know when you're finished wiping? And this was one of the common questions I saw that I didn't address in my last blog episode 12. But how, like, why does that change when you're blind? I'm pretty sure, like, you'll feel that you're clean, and you can just keep wiping to double check. Alright, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Alright, so my actual number 8, is, so what would you do if someone stole your cane or you lost your cane? And whenever I get that...
Girl, give me your cane. I'll need it. I don't know why, but I need it. Why would that happen?
So that reminds me of, like, you know, are you afraid of, like, traveling in public? Like, when you ask me that, then that makes me a little paranoid. I'm starting to worry. Like, are you planning on doing something? Are you going to steal my cane? Why are you asking? But no, in that regard, though, 2 weeks ago, my cane did break. Someone tripped, and it broke. I will put a link to that blog post so you can read it and see the pictures. But all I did was I went to the accessibility office and they scotch taped it for me. There was no duct tape, sadly. And you know, like, if I were outside, you can actually call the police and ask them to pick you up or, like, take you home. So I would do that.
So my number 8 is the glorious question, have you ever seen this? So, story time. Me and a friend walking down whatever avenue or whatever street. Let's pick Lexington. Walking down the street. And hey, Kiara, we're on Lexington. Oh, that's cool. Have you ever seen the street sign? Or like Lexington? Do you know what it looks like? Wow, I never thought about. Can you see my face? Do you know what I look like? What color are my eyes? Have you ever seen the trees? There are a lot of trees over here, and I just realized you may not have seen them. What can you see? What about that chair? What about, did you know that there are benches at bus stops? Because there are. What have you seen in this world? And it's just like, are you serious? I've been talking to you. I feel like there are indicators.
I've commented on visual things.
Yeah, I feel like there are indicators that I've seen you, or a street sign, or a bus bench. And frankly, even if I didn't, why do you sound that fascinated? It doesn't make me some type of spectacle because I've never specifically seen the Lexington Avenue street sign.
And that happens too, like, when I tell people that I can see a little, then, I don't know, it's one thing to ask, but it's the way you go about asking, you know? And yeah, when you just sound so fascinated and you just keep jumping from question to question, because that also has happened to me. Like, oh, so what can you see? Can you see how many fingers I'm holding up? Oh, I hate that one. But can you see how many fingers I'm holding up? Good. What do I look like? What color are my eyes?
And then always start off right in your face. Do you see this?
Yes. How many fingers am I holding up? And I've just been like, I'd rather not. So you can't see me?
Right.
No. I just don't like that you're sticking your fingers in my face. So my number 9, have you ever had a boyfriend? What's that like? How do you kiss? How do you kiss? You're so stupid. How do you kiss? A lot of people, like, close their eyes when they kiss anyway. And yes, I've had boyfriends. And people, like, that usually leads to, oh, what's that like? Like, how is it dating? I mean, so things, I guess, slightly different in terms of, like, with a relationship. If it's not another visually impaired person, I'm not usually attracted to other blind people. That sounds messed up, but, like, I'm not going to deny a blind person, like, if I fall in, like, love with them, but...
You sound so disgusted.
If I fall for a blind person, it's okay, but that's not who I seek out. And, yeah. Anyway, so... But, so with someone, like, if anything, you might have to talk about some of the things, that might affect, like, obviously I can't drive, you'd be the one, if we went places, driving in this relationship, and, like, in terms of meeting up with each other, we'd have to, like, work things out in terms of, like, I'm pretty good at finding places, but, it's just, we'd have to talk about it beforehand, or, but it's not such a big deal, and the way people ask it, like, do you date, like, it's, yes, again, it's not that strange, I'm blind, that's it, that's all I've got going. Alright, you're number 9?
Alright. A little bit of a silly one. Can I change in front of you? Because I know, like, you can't see anything, so you wouldn't mind if why am I asking? I could have already changed. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna change. Just right here. It's fine. I can see you. I can see your nipples. I can see your coochie. I can see your penis. I can see whatever. I can see all of you. So now people are just here getting buck naked because apparently I can't see them. And I mean, even if I couldn't see you, unless, like, we've been friends or whatever for a long time, or it's just kind of weird to get naked right next to me.
With the preface, like, if you're in a locker room or something, it makes sense, but with that preface, like, wait, why am I even talking about it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like, why wouldn't you just, there are other places to, yeah, it's just a little silly.
Alright, and my number 10, are you a virgin / have you had sex? So, the most interesting time...
Woo-hoo! Bow chicka wow wow!
I feel like my face is reddening. The most interesting time that this has been asked to me, the most memorable time was it was senior year, and I was in chorus, and these girls, they whispered about me, like, as though I could hear them, like, they were sitting right as Kiara's next to me, like, they were sitting right next to me, behind me, so it was just like, I can hear you guys, but, so she was like, are you a virgin, have you had sex, and I'm like, no, I've not had sex, yes, I am a virgin. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, it's my choice, dear. I have, I've warded off many advances.
They was trying to dive in.
Oh my god. So it's not, I'm fairly attractive, moderately attractive. So, and I tell her, that it's my choice or whatever, and she's like, oh, yeah, I understand that. She's like, but how would it work for you? How the F would it work for you? Like, there's not this huge difference. And I covered this again in my previous vlog episode where I talked about, like, what you've always wanted to ask a blind person. But, like, it's not this huge mystery. Like, people have sex in the dark quite often. I hear that that's what's most enjoyed, or not most enjoyed, but what's most common. So, that's not too different. And yes, like, and you use your hands more anyway, because it's an intimate setting. It's an intimate setting, so... Boy. You can get it with the other senses, like sight is definitely not everything. And along that same train, like, when I tell people, that it'll happen when it happens, like, I don't view sex as this great, like, rite of passage, but at the same time, I'm not just gonna go have sex just because, like, I don't want to end high school a virgin. That's been a lot of people's thing. I didn't say the other one, okay? But you don't want to, like, your virginity to follow you. I don't think it's that serious. And when I tell people that, I either get like, oh, that's so cute, or, oh, and it's kind of like, well, she's blind, maybe that's just like the excuse for it. It's interesting. Alright, Kiki's 10.
Alright, grand finale. So, I guess I should start this off with the explanation that I've dabbled in a couple different areas of life as far as relationships and sexual experiences and such.
She's sexually adventurous.
Well, that makes me sound like a whore.
Oh, in a good way.
This song is the shit. You guys should be listening to the Hamilton soundtrack.
Of course. After you finish our video.
It's amazing. Yeah, after that, it's really amazing.
But, alright, so.
Yeah. So, a couple different endeavors. Sorry, I'm trying to, okay. I don't know why I can't think of this next song. I'm really being distracted right now. Sorry. Oh my gosh. What's it called? What's it called? Tell you a story. No, it's about to be over. This is so annoying.
Who Lives Who Dies?
No, not this one.
Okay.
I'm trying to change the song.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. So as I was saying, things. So basically, people ask, and again, not a particular problem with men, but it really does, it's just always you guys. People will ask if I have if I have a problem.
I almost started dancing, and that would have been bad.
That's great. If I have a problem locating one's private parts. So if I'm having sex with a man, then if I need to get especially close to his genitalia, or if I have to, as the children say, ride the dick a different kind of way, so that way I can visually see it, because you know, vision's been a big part of this process. You cannot have sex unless you see the sex, apparently. There's no feeling or movement or anything involved in it. It's all eye work. And then you think, alright, this is just a guy thing. It's just, they think that something's that special about their penis that it needs to be seen. But that's not even it. Because then I'll get the same question involving, cunnilingus. They will ask if I need to be especially close to the vagina to be able to proceed in having relations with the vagina.
And this is not asked by women, yes? These are like men inquiring?
This is again men inquiring about women. I've been asked if I needed to be so close that my lips were inside of the physical pussy. So that way I could see what I was doing. I've been asked if I literally needed to be sat on, so that way that could be directly in my face.
Okay, I'm not a prude, guys. I promise.
She's a prude?
Like, I'll discuss sex. I'm okay with that.
She'll just turn beet red and not be able to talk and like laugh and duck and run.
I won't duck and run. I'll duck. I won't run. But yeah, so those are the top 10 weirdest things. It was in no particular order, and I'm sure we can definitely think of a lot more, but those are the ones that really stood out to us. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the previous video, and check out my blog and my other videos and all of that stuff. Will you end it, please?
Yep.
So bye! Bye! Till next time.